All right, so for this game, looks like we have what is just a straight grouping game. We've got these 3 bouquets, 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to put a bunch of flowers into them. Now, the flowers themselves happen to be L, P, R, S, and T. And I think we are told that every single one has to have at least one or more. So there's at least 1 flower under each, so there's no empties. And in this game, this is a many-to-many game in the sense that the elements, they don't just have to go once, they could go several times. Although I don't think we know that not every flower actually has to be used. So that's, I suppose, something to keep in mind. Anyways, the rules. First rule says that 1 cannot be the same as 3, so nothing in common at all. So that's kind of good to know that these guys and those guys are not going to be the same. Next, we are told that 2 and 3 have to have exactly 2 in common. So that's kind of hefty. So 2 is going to be the same 3 as 3, but exactly twice. So first of all, that does mean that both 2 and 3 are going to have at least 2 flowers, and they're going to have exactly 2 of those in common. Next, 3 has to have snapdragons. Ooh, that's nice. So 3 gets snapdragons, which I suppose right away that tells us that 1 does not get any snapdragons, so that limits them. Next, if we have lilies in a bouquet, then they also must have roses, but they cannot have snapdragons. Okay, so first of all, if there's L, then you're going to have R, so I guess it'll be an LR block. But there's no snapdragons there, so you can't have L and S together. Let's just simplify that. Oh, so that means that these guys, bouquet 3, is definitely not going to have lilies. So that's nice to know. Although lilies could still be in 1, but they don't have to be. That's still a little bit more flexible. Next, if a bouquet has tulips, then you also have to have peonies. So if you have T's, then you'll have to have P's alongside. So I guess if there's a T, then there will be a TP block. Actually, let's contrapose these as well. If we don't have P's, then you certainly cannot have T's. If you don't have R's, then you certainly cannot have L's. Yeah, so from there, I suppose, in terms of the 2 that these guys have in common, that's probably one of the heavier rules here. But even then, it doesn't have to be the S's, right? Because bouquet 3 could have more than just S, and it could be other flowers that they have in common. So that's a little bit flexible. But 1 and 3, the fact that they have nothing in common, that does kind of limit what you can do because there's only 5 flowers total. So as one of those 2 picks up more flowers, the other one ends up with less variety available. You know what though, let's take a look, see what we can do with the questions. Question number 19 is our standard exclusion question. Let's go. First rule, 1 and 3 cannot have anything in common. So A looks okay, B does not. We have peonies in both 1 and 3, which is not going to work. We can get rid of that. Next, C has peonies in 1 but not 3, and tulips rather, but that's fine. Answer choice D is good and E is good. Next, 2 and 3 have to have exactly 2 in common. So A, we're good. We have P and T both in 2 and 3. B has P and S in both in 2 and 3, although B doesn't matter anymore. C has R and S in both. That's fine. D has P and S in both. We're good. And E has, oh, that's unfortunate, L and R in both 2 and 3. So all of these seem to follow the rules. Okay, let's keep going. 3 has to have snapdragons. A is good, C is good, D is good, E is not. We can get rid of E. Next, if there's an L, you'll have to have an R alongside it. So A, the one L has an R. C, there's no L's, but I guess that's okay. D, the one L in bouquet 3 does not have an R alongside it, so we can get rid of answer choice D. Next, L and S, we said cannot be together. So between A and C, I suppose that's actually good. Yeah, they both seem to follow that. And next, T requires P. So answer choice A has both T's with a P, that's fine. Answer choice C has T on 2, but no P alongside it, so we can get rid of answer choice C, and leaves us with answer choice A for question number 19. And as usual, let's just plug that into the board. So A says LR, then we have PRT, followed by PST. Next, first local question here is number 20, which says, if lilies are in the first bouquet, so if we have L in 1, well, I suppose right away, we know that L is going to have to go with R, so R is going to have to be here as well, which means 3, which already has snapdragons. You're not going to have, well, you obviously don't have an L, but you also can't have an R here either. So what do we have? Oh, wait a minute. So at this point, you'll notice that we're done with L, we're done with R, S is already there. We're just left with T and P. But LSAT loves running this. We know that we have to have at least one more here. So what's going to end up happening? Either you're going to have T, and then you're going to have P as well, or alternatively, you're just going to have P. But no matter what, you'll notice that you'll have to have a P in here. And then from there, I suppose the same thing has to happen in bouquet number 2, because we know that we have to share 2 in common with number 3, right? Now the 2, they could include T, because T could still potentially go here. But if they don't include T, you'll still have to have S and P here. And if they do include T, then you'll still have to have P there. So no matter what, you'll end up with a P in number 2 as well. And then this could still be either an S or a T. We have a little bit of flexibility there. So to the question itself now, which of the following now must be true? L in 2, nope, that doesn't have to, although it could, for the record. P in 3, yes, that has to be true. The best answer to question number 20 is B. Next, number 22, or 21 rather. If tulips are in the first bouquet, so let's run this. If we have T in 1, well, first of all, that triggers this guy, which means that we'll have to have P there as well, which means bouquet number 3, since 1 and 3 are never the same, we already have S there, but we're not going to have a T, and we're not going to have a P either, right? So these are done. Except, wait, we also know that we can't have an L there either. So really, if we can't have L, we can't have T, we can't have P, what does that leave us with? It just leaves us with S and R, it would seem. Yeah. So we'll have to have S and R, and that's really it. That's all that can go into bouquet number 3. And since 2 and 3 have to share 2 flowers, you're gonna have to have S and R in 2. Although, wait, no, that's not necessarily complete, because 2 could actually have other things there as well. 2 is not actually limited from L. Well, I guess it can't have an L because L and S aren't the same, but T and P could still go there. In fact, I guess we can leave a reminder that L can't go into that position. So to the question itself, which of the following could be a complete and accurate list of the flowers in bouquet number 2? Now, at the very least, we have to have S and R. So that would get rid of answer choice A, it would get rid of B, it would get rid of C, conveniently D. And E, we have S and R, and we could also have had T and P there as well. Best answer to 21 is E. Next, question number, I guess the rest of these are global. Let's go. Question number 22. Which of the following cannot be a complete list of flowers in bouquet number 2? I guess let's take a look. A, could we have L and R in number 2 as a complete list? And no, because if 2 only has L and R, and since 2 has to share 2 flowers with 3, then 3 will have to have L and R, but you can't have L's in 3, so that would never work. Actually, yeah, there we go. That's the answer, isn't it? Answer choice A is a set of flowers that cannot be the complete list for question 22. Best answer for 22 is A. For the record, though, let's just take a quick look at the rest. Answer choice B, could we have just P and T in bouquet number 2? And yeah, in fact, in this scenario, that would have been fine. If you had a T over here, we could have also had a T over there, and they would have shared 2, and that would have been completely okay. Answer choice C, could you have PRS there? And maybe in this scenario, in fact, we said we could have added others. We could have had a P here, and P would not have triggered anything, so that would have been okay. Answer choice D, could you have PRT? And this we've seen explicitly, that easily could have happened. Answer choice E, could you have PRST? And yes, we talked about how we could have done that over here. We could have picked up P and T to complete all 4. So once again, the best answer to question 22 is A. Next, 23. Which of the following cannot be true? Once again, answer choice A. L and R are the only flowers in bouquet 1. And it seems like we've done that actually several times. Like in this scenario, L and R, that was the complete set for number 1, so that seems fine. Answer choice B, P and T are the only flowers in number 1. And hey, convenient, we've seen that happen as well, right? We don't have to have anything else there, so that could have been true. Answer choice C, L, P, and R are the only kinds of flowers in Bouquet 2. Now, if we put L, P, and R in 2, that seems okay, because, I mean, obviously, 2 and 3 are going to have to share 2 of them, and it's not going to be L because L can't go into 3. But if we have L, P, and R, yeah, they could seemingly go in here, and P and R wouldn't trigger anything, so I think that should be fine. Answer choice C is out. Answer choice D, P, R, and S are the only kinds of flowers in bouquet number 2. And that, I suppose we could have done that here pretty easily. In fact, we've discussed it explicitly. We could have put a P here just as easily, and then P would not have triggered anything, so that should have been fine. Answer choice E, cross your fingers, P, S, and T are the only ones in 3. Except wait, we've seen that as well, haven't we? P, S, and T have been the only ones in 3. So, oh boy, we missed something, didn't we? All right, let's run that again. Let's take a look at, see what we might have missed. Answer choice A, L and R are the only ones in 1. Now this, yeah, this is right there. We definitely have seen them be the only ones in 1. Answer choice B, P and T are the only ones in 1. And yeah, that could have happened here. And we don't have to have anything else in 1, so that could easily be complete. Answer choice C, L, P, and R are the only ones in 2. Could we run... I guess we haven't really quite tried that yet. You know, let's just, since we're on our second round, let's see what would happen if we did. If we run L, P, and R over here, as we said, if this is complete, and since 3 cannot have an L, then P and R are going to be the ones that are going to be shared. So we're going to have P, R, and S over here. And I suppose we have to worry about this guy, but I mean, you can't have P, R, or S, but couldn't you do the other guys? Oh no, we couldn't. Oh, that's sneaky. So check this out. The only other guys are L and T, aren't they? And if we put an L into 1, then we would have had to have an R, but we can't because R is over here. In fact, we can say if there's no R in 1, which there isn't, then we can't have an L. And since we can't have an R, then you can't have an L there. But the same thing applies to P. Since this guy has a P, we can't place a P here. And if we can't place a P there, then there's no T. Alternatively, if we had a T, then we would have had to have a P here, and then it would have violated that rule. So there's nothing left to go into number 1. So this cannot happen. We can't put LPR be the complete list of number 2. The best answer to question 23 is C.